What is happening, YouTube? Steve here. What is happening? What is happening? I was going to upload a video, then I decided I might as well just do a live, and then I don't have to wait for the upload. Turn the volume down here a little bit to make sure that this is working, and it is working. We'll give it a like. Oh, 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 what a good day. It's a little chilly. How cold is it? I don't even know how cold it is. According to Verizon, it's 26. Only gonna drop down to 21. So not get real cold tonight. That's good. And then, um, nothing really. Well, Thursday gonna be a low of 10, and then next Sunday, Monday to be a little bit chilly and overnight, but in the highs in the 20s. So that's all good. I said I was gonna post a video, but then I'd have to wait for it to upload. And since I didn't feel like doing that, I uh I said, heck, I'll just go live for a couple minutes. This won't be too awful long. It just won't be too awful long. I don't know who else was live. I seen Wildbeard was live earlier. He's in Kansas City. They got a lot of snow. He can have it. I'm in Northwest Indiana, as you guys mostly know, and we had a little bit of snow yesterday morning, and I don't think we had any today. It's been chilly all day, but in the 20s, like I said, mid 20s, which isn't bad for January. But the good news, the best news of the whole day, if there actually was, well, church service was good today, so that was good news. But the Bears beat the Packers at Lambeau. That was really good news. I think they said they had not beaten them at Lambeau since 2015. Oh, thank goodness. It was so nice to see Caleb Williams. Um, the last game of the season. They led the whole game, and they tried to lose it. No, let me take that back. They did not lead the whole game because right at the end, Green Bay kicked that field goal and they were ahead. So then Chicago had to come down and kick a field goal to win it. So they most of the game they were ahead, just not that little bit there, minute or two for. Um, and then that Santos, he kicked a field goal to win it, and he had one. The Bears should have beat Green Bay at Chicago, but he had a kick blocked right at the last second. So that was good for him. A little redemption against the gosh dang Packers, and nice for Caleb to have a fourth down drive or a fourth quarter drive for a win. He's had some good fourth quarters, but none of them's been for a win. So that was good news for him, and gives them a little bit of bump going into the off season. So that's nice. They're still they have a not very good offensive line. I wonder how much of their problems would be solved if they would have their offensive line problem fixed. I'm thinking they'd been a lot better football team. But then the other good news, and like I said, I'm not. The best news was that the Bears won. But then I was just watching I haven't watched much football since I quit betting them early in the season when I started to bet basketball, and then basketball became unbettable. So I quit betting them even in basketball. I haven't bet anything for since early in the basketball season. But I see Aaron Rodgers. I watched the Jets first half. I'm looking over my shoulder. My television's right over there, so I was looking over my shoulder to see the Jets just came back out of halftime, and Aaron Rodgers got his 500 touchdown. So that was nice. Aaron Rodgers has been a thorn in the side to Bears fans, but I do like him. Um, actually, to be honest, my second favorite team is the Packers. Well, the Colts. I just don't have much allegiance. I like the Colts well enough because I'm from Indiana, so I like them just fine, but, probably it would be the Green Bay Packers would be the next favorite team. But it's nice to see Darren got that well, actually, he's got another one, he's got 501. I don't think he'll catch Favre, though, because Favre, I think, had 508, and, so I don't know if he's gonna if he'd had a better season the Jets are 4-12. If they'd had a better season, he probably would have caught, Favre as well, but, it's just nice to see him get over 500. I don't know who's got the ball. It's 6-15, Miami is losing, but I think Miami needs to win this game, and they're a better football. Well, they're 8-8, so they're not all that much better a football team. But I seen something early where one of the early sportscasts was saying that, Miami could get in, but they had to win and somebody else had to lose. I don't remember who the other person that had to lose was, but mm, I said I've watched more football probably today than I've watched, oh, not all season, but I've watched much. But anyway, trucking news. Anything going on in truck? I got everything all ready to go for this week. I got a couple of projects to do first thing in the morning, and then we will be ready to roll. The only thing I didn't do, I guess I could do it before I go to bed, is make sure my cooler is good and clean. But otherwise, and I'm looking, I got my clipboard. I lost my good clipboard. You guys have one of these clipboards? I I used to have a really nice Schneider one. If I find another one of them Schneider guys, I'll try to get them to get me one. I really like that one. This one's okay. Make sure I got everything in here while I'm sitting there. Physical. Okay, yeah, yeah, we're okay. We're okay. So I'm gonna run some dry van this next month too. And I gotta make sure I got a new vest, my safety glasses. I got new ones of them because my other one was pretty ratty. So I don't have to worry about that. My glasses. I lost my glasses. Sat in the wood a couple days ago, 3 days ago. And I couldn't find. I went out and looked. Oh man, I scratched the you know what out of them. I ended up losing them in the house. Well, where I was stacking wood. I burn wood, as you guys know. But anywho, so yeah, I think, and I don't know where I'm gonna go tomorrow. I haven't quite got that far yet, but we'll cross that bridge in the morning. So to make I got everything. I'm looking to make sure I got everything. All I need to do is make sure I get all my groceries in the morning, and we'll be ready to go. This cat just jumped up on. Can you see her? She just jumped up on me. I'm in her chair. She likes to sleep in this chair, and when she thinks it's time for her to go to bed, she'll either claw at my leg or jump up on my lap here, and that's the sign that I'm supposed to move my location. Like I said, I'm just gonna do a little short video here. We probably won't go but another couple minutes. Um, maybe somebody else will go live. I didn't. I thought maybe Trucker Todd might go live tonight after the Cowboys, but they got beat, so he might not be in the best of spirits. And then, but Wild Beard, that I haven't watched all his live, so I could watch some of that. But otherwise, I don't know if anybody else has gone live. I found a new girl I like to watch. What is her handle? She's a Prime driver, Slime Pack 392 or something, Slime Pack something, and Slime Pack and a number, and, she's a Prime driver. I pretty much binge watched the last 2 months of whatever she had up there. She's really good. I was watching her content the last couple days. Well, I wouldn't wanna work at Prime. She does refrigerated. And one thing about Prime refrigerated, it seems like it's bad appointment times and long waits. Always dealing with lumpers. I don't know how many of her videos I've watched where she sat 3, 4 hours. That's crazy. It's bad enough when I gotta do that on the hopper, but after running over the road for a couple months, I'll be glad probably to go back and sit in that DDG line for 2 or 3 hours. 2 or 3 hours isn't so bad, it's when it's 5 or 6 hours when it's really bad, but so we'll get back on that probably by April for sure. I won't run over the road longer than that probably, but we'll see. Anyways, well, I'm just rubbing Kitty here, and she's ready for me to get up. I've had my dinner, chicken Alfredo. It was delicious. Usually I make it like tacos or something I can take on the truck to eat that first day out, but I didn't. That Alfredo wasn't. I didn't make quite enough, I guess, or it really wasn't. I don't know if it'd been good to take. Anywho, well, that's like I said, that's 11 minutes. Nobody's chimed in. I see somebody's watching. I don't know who's watching, but we will. I will give you an update tomorrow morning when I kind of figure out where I'm going to go tomorrow. And I said the rest of the content for the week will be from the truck, I think. So thanks for the new subs, by the way. I meant to say that. This cat is pitiful. You can't always see. There you see the top of her head. Now there's another one wanting to jump up. Crazy. I gotta do something with these cats. I got too many. If anybody needs a cat, they can have one. But anyway, said the Aaron Rodgers got his 500th and the Chicago Bears won. So and the snow stayed south. I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all. I guess I'll talk about that real quick. Um, oh heck, the dog is outside, and the cat was just on my lap a second ago. You just could have seen her a second ago, but she just jumped off. I don't know where she went to. Maybe she wants to go out for a little while tonight. It's well after dark here, though. I don't know if she does or not. Where are you at? Did you get snow where you're at? What's your location? I'm in Northwest Indiana. We didn't get no snow. It looks like it's staying south. But I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all, and he was looked like kind of Evansville, Louisville, um, Lexington is kind of the line there for the worst of the snow. Are you in Northern Illinois? Southern Illinois was getting ice. Evansville, that line, Evansville. If you're up in Chicago, then you're probably okay. Now there was a little blast that might come through later on tonight, but we're not too far apart if you're in Illinois. Hey, the Bears won. You should be happy too. The Bears won. Did you watch the game? Oh, jolly, yeah, yeah. You're the straight across practically. Yeah, almost exactly straight across from me. I'm just on the other side of Valparaiso, so we're almost in line. Wonder why those messages retracted. Maybe you don't anybody know where you live, which is not a bad thing with all the crazies on this YouTube. I tell you what, I stay out of the drama. I I do watch James Best when he's on. I like to watch him, and I like Randall Gatesman, Randall's Pub when he's on. Well, he's not on anymore. He just goes on James's channel, but um, otherwise, I don't. I stay away from the drama the best, almost the best I can. I only got wrapped up in it one time. I said something nice about um, Stewart, and I got attracted some attention. But other than that, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. They it seemed like there was 2 things that really got 3 things that really drove views. I had some really good videos, good for me, I mean, where I was talking about truck stops and uh, the taverns that I found in some of these truck stops. Um, not too far from you, well, a little ways away from you, Joliet. No, not too far from you. Um, if you go, is it 55, 57? 55. No, 57. 57, where you come across there at, Highway 2, where there's a fairgrounds right there. Anyway, they put a truck stop there, a new one, on the there's a McDonald's on this side, southwest corner, right by the fairgrounds, off of 57. What is that highway that cuts that's right, cut across from Joliet. I unloaded your rail yards right there in Joliet. So, what is that? They built a new truck stop there, and they put a tavern in that. Foreigners did. I don't remember. They seem nice enough. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in there. What the heck is the name of that fairgrounds right there off 57? Just not very far from you, back this way towards the state line. Because when I leave Joliet, where you're at the rail yards, and I wind around and I go south by the racetrack on whatever that highway is, I forget. And then I go south of there's another rail yard down there, and I cut across the country. There's a DuPont paint place that's on the west side of the road, that intersection. And I go east, and then I go over to Grant Park and get corn back out of Grant Park and bring that corn back to South Bend, and then I get distiller grain out of South Bend and go back over to you by Grant Park. Anyway, that's a long way to say some of those videos I did with um, the taverns that was in those truck stops did okay, and then, some of the ones I did in the corn line in the morning was doing okay. Otherwise, JB Hunt, whenever I talk about JB Hunt, that, that usually got pretty good views. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Yep, yep. Um, they're pretty nice in there. Now their roller dog section, um, that's not the best in the world, but the Dunkin' Donuts is really nice. And I mean, all Dunkin' Donuts are the same, but everybody that's worked there whenever I stop is always very nice. And and I haven't. They got a cheesesteak place there too that seems to be pretty busy all the time. Um, I see people. Like I said, whenever I'm in there, I see people getting them. I usually didn't eat much lunch. I'd get breakfast once in a while, but I didn't get much lunch because I was usually getting close to going home. But yeah, Peatone, that's exactly where it is, Peatone. And then I come across and I go across 57, go by the fairgrounds over the railroad tracks, and there's a Dodge dealer right on the corner. And I turn south there. I think I could probably go straight and wind around, but I go south there a few miles and then cut across. My favorite place to eat by you though is Italian beef from what is the truck stop? Do they call it Route 66? It's almost across the street from the racetrack to the west. Almost. Yeah, 327, that's what it is. Um, if you go so what is that road? It's the highway that goes north to south. It goes right by the racetrack. Yeah. Yeah, across from the don't go to that Pilot. That's a disaster getting in and out of there, and they're not very nice either. There used to be an Arby's there, but it's not there anymore. 53, okay. Um, Italian beef. I don't I gain weight when I do that run. That's my favorite place to stop and eat is I stop and get an Italian JJ not JJ's, what is that Italian beef place called? It's called in there. Is it JJ's? No, I'm not sure what it's called. But you know where I mean, right there. You go in there and you get Italian beef and french fries and a Coke, and it's like 10 bucks or something. I get the baby beef, I don't get the big one. Um, it's a little delish, I tell you, delish. There used to be another one of those over in Indiana, but they closed it up and put something else in there. They said it was just the same, but I haven't had one yet. Anyway, um, yeah, I like to do my farming videos. We'll do more of those in the springtime. Pops, yep, Pops Italian beef. You know exactly what I was talking about, Pops. I don't know. I think they're the best Italian beef in Chicagoland, but you could make an argument there's some other ones closer to the city that probably are better, but Pops is my favorite. Reasonably priced. I just get the baby beef, otherwise it gets too sloppy and it makes a big damn mess, because sometimes I eat it when I'm driving, which is a disaster zone, but I do it. They have the best french fries. I don't know how they season their french fries there, but they are good. They do a good job, especially when they get them a little crispy. I like them a little bit crispy. And the girls that work there are always very nice. So I like to go there. But there's Dunkin' Donuts there too. Sometimes I get the sausage and cheese, not biscuit, not muffin, bagel. Yeah, sometimes, not always. Sometimes that's what I get from Dunkin' Donuts. But yeah, Pops. That's my go-to spot in your neighborhood. And then I go where I go deliver my distiller grain. If you turn at Pops there and you go to the west on that road, I never know the roads. If you go west and it winds around a little bit, and then what about 3 miles over there, maybe not quite that far. It used to be you had to make a left-hand turn and go south. Straight ahead, I think, is a landfill, and you never went north. But I think they um, increased the highway, and you can get back on 55 if you go north. There's another way to get to 55 that way. But anyway, so you go to that corner, and there's always a bad corner because you got all those container guys turning. So you got like go 2 miles, 3 miles west to Pops, and then you turn. Don't go straight to the landfill. You turn right there, go south by all those container yards. Where I deliver distillers is right on that corner. Right on that corner. You can see it, but they got dirt piled high around there. Um, so you got to turn, go south just 400 or 500 yards, and then loop back around. Yeah, they're always building a lot over there, aren't they? Ooh wee! Which is really kind of good because I don't want to go into the city. So I like to haul out of them warehouses on the south side. When I worked for, I'm going to pull some freight for ARCA again over the next month or two, but we hauled a lot, and JB Hunt did too. Target, right there. You wind around south by where I said that where the ethanol was there. You go south and you wiggle around there a little bit, and there's a big Target warehouse down in there. I used to go in there quite a bit. 5 of them are already up. Awesome. That is awesome. And they've opened up some of them roads a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to get around. A lot of them roads you couldn't go. Like if you come off of 55 by the chemical factory right there, whatever that road is, you make that big loop and then you come back around, there's a chemical factory right there. I don't remember who owns it. And then you wind back around, and then if you go south, there's two big rail yards. And then if you go north, there's another big road. But if you go north, is where that Target is. Well, they made that road where you can go straight. I see with a big truck now. Before you couldn't go straight. I don't know where you go to if you go down that road, but um, I also know that you want to stay on the roads you're supposed to because those police over there get a little ornery when you get on their roads you're not supposed to be on. But yeah, I used to haul quite a bit into that Target. Not Target. Is it Target? JB Hunt's in there like crazy. Yeah, I think it's Target. Yeah, ours. Yep, yep. That's it. That's it. Um, they. I never done any chemicals, so I just drove by that place. But oh, when I drove for Snyder, if you go past that place to that first stop, no, well, not the first stoplight, but like the main stoplight, where if you turn north, you go to where there's some container yards, and if you go north, there's lots of container yards. But if you go south to the first stop sign and then turn back to the east, Georgia Pacific has a big warehouse in there. Um, and I used to haul, well, I didn't haul as much out of there for Schneider as I would bring back to there from Schneider. So there was another Georgia Pacific warehouse over off of 55, off of 57, that I would get a load going to Texas every week, and then I would go from Texas up to Oklahoma, and then I'd bounce around back down in Oklahoma to what's the Muskogee? The what's that song? Muskogee, yeah, Muskogee, Oklahoma. There's a Georgia Pacific warehouse, not warehouse, but a plant mill. That's what they call them, mills. And Schneider had a lot of trailers spotted in there, and I would bring that load up to that 55 off of 55. They well, that's a good place to put them right in there. I tell you what. Um, and hopefully they give you guys a lot of jobs over that way. Those buildings are bigger than they have people in them, but they that is awesome that they have that. They're building those over there. Heck, you guys seem to be Amazon rich. It seems like every time I drive down the road over there, you guys are building a new Amazon. I don't haul Amazon, but some of the boys that do haul it seem to like it. So I'm not. I don't even really buy much from Amazon either. But I had nothing against them on principle. But yeah, that's awesome. But there's a few people that work in them, and a lot of freight coming in and out. That's a good thing, I guess. I was in north of Indy, west side of Indy, just outside the Loop. I can't remember the name of it, and it's a big water place. And I can't remember the name of the water place. I did take it down. Yeah, I did. I mentioned that. Well, maybe I didn't mention it in one of my other videos, but um, yes, I did. Now, not only did I do that, I got the outside lights all taken down and packed away, and I got the indoor lights taken down and put away, and all the ornaments, and so I won't have to next year buy new lights for my driveway because a lot of times I leave those out, and they still usually work for a year. I just get cheaper ones, but they usually still work. The problem is that the paint comes off of the oh, gee, no, I do not. I try not to. I try to avoid that segment of the trucking YouTube world, but um, he was hot after poor Cooper. That guy can't catch a break. Of course, you get hooked up with old Coachy Coach and the what do you call it, referral game, and they they attract attention, good or bad. I don't know, but they seem to attract it, and I haven't. Narc doesn't come up on my radar, I think, on my feed. So, and he changes his name, so and I can't keep track of him. He's he he's one of them guys. There's a couple of them out there that um, he could be so talented on YouTube um, if he would use his powers for good instead of for agitation. Because he's very funny, and when I haven't watched him for a while, but when I watch his lives in the garage, um, he's very engaging and he's funny, and he's very clever when it comes to all that YouTube stuff. And I wish he would maybe do more for good instead, like I said, instead of for agitation. But that's his segment. He does fine. Uh, yeah, yeah, you're right about that. Probably. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I don't know. He was going to run that lease that truck from James, and I didn't quite know how that was going to work teaming with Oh, sir, but, it coulda worked, I hoped it would've worked, but it didn't quite work out, so then he went to and then, of course, that always ends bad, and you get all the drama folks involved and it, makes it even worse, but and then he went to, oh, what are those trucks? I think, who is it that drives for them that's on James's channel sometimes? He has the race cars, um, anyway, he drove for them for a little while, but didn't sound like he was making as much money as he needed to. And I tell you what, now I will make this criticism, and I like I said, I usually don't criticize other YouTubers because I don't want to get involved in the drama, but this isn't really getting involved in drama, so I'll do it. Um, Cooper and Coach, when they first came out with the new channel and was trying to get referrals, which they're still trying to do, which I don't have any issue with that, but um, they, they were trying to make the argument that being home every night really wasn't all that great because basically all you do is you truck all day for 10, 11, 12 hours, and then you come home and you go to bed, and you really don't get to see your family that much. And they were actually trying to make the argument that being gone 8, 9, 10, 12 weeks was better than that. No. And they also said, now this part I can't say this for a fact because they live in Kentucky, and I don't like I said, we're here in Northwest Indiana and the south side of Chicago. You and I both live in the Chicago market, let me just say it that way, and I don't know of a day shift a local job, let me say it right. I don't know of a local job where you wouldn't make, after taxes, 1,000 a week. So, 1,000 a week to the house. Whether it's containers, whether it's dump work, whether it's local steel, whether it's, um, local dry van, no way. I mean, you could find one every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And they were acting like they didn't have no good local jobs down there. I don't know if that's true or not. They were saying, like, you only make 5, 600 a week. I don't know if I'm not saying they weren't telling the truth, but now that is true. I'm not gonna say what you just said is not true. I'm gonna agree with what you just said. But would you rather do that or be gone for 10 weeks at a time? It's not a difficult question for me to figure out. Not at all. I agree with you, though. It is, and it's 10 to 12 hours, just like you're saying. All of that's 100% true. I don't disagree one littlest bit. But there is no way in this world that you will convince me that that is worse than being um, gone for 10 weeks at a time, like they're doing 8, 10 weeks at a time. And they were acting like that was a good thing. I don't think so. I'm going to politely decline that. And you know how, well, you said you did it. Um, uh, where at? You could make an okay living doing that around here. That's what I did most of my career, what you just said right there. Local work, short haul regional. I stay within a drive shift of here where we live because if something happens, I can always come home, be home within a day, right away. If something bad happens. Um, this is where the market's at. What I'm gonna do for the next couple months running that ARCA freight is gonna be that's exactly what it is. Western Ohio, Southern Michigan, Indiana, Northern Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, some Southern Wisconsin, and maybe no Minnesota, but Southern Wisconsin and that kind of stuff. Right in our just what you said, that's 6 states right there. We have the best freight. It's the thing to run. in my opinion. Um, but we live probably I mean, you could make I don't know if you could make an argument otherwise, but, we we live in the best trucking market you can be in if you're in the whole country, where we live at here in the Chicago especially on the South Side, living on the South Side where you live and where I live, um, over just on the side of Valparaiso. Yeah, yeah. Grain is pretty good, especially where you live, because there's always that distiller grain coming back from, South Bend Ethanol. South Bend Ethanol and, Marion, Indiana, which is, kinda down by, not very far south, way north of Indy, about halfway between Plymouth and Indy, and a little bit to the east is where Marion's at. Yep, Global 4, that's the one. Now, that's where I go. The only bad thing about Global 4 is the boys that work there are very nice, um, and they do a pretty good job getting you unloaded, but the the guys that bring them the cans, they call them. I call them containers, they call them cans. The boys that bring them the containers, those are union guys that work for, um, whatever that rail yard is, it's right next door there, um, and they're not always the fastest. So that's where that job gets hung up a little. When you see me get hung up over there, that's what it was because of, um, was be it well, it wasn't because of the workers, it was because of, them getting the containers brought over because they unload that, it comes right out of our trailer, and it goes right into an overhead, but it goes right into their trailer. Um, they don't store it in a bin. They load them on scales, and, so they put the exact right weight in them in the exact right spot. But the other good place to go to who unloads faster is, if you come across 80 right by the river, which I think you told me the name of that river, and I always forget what it is. Plains, is that what it is? I forget. Um, just on the north side, when you cross where that big steel bridge is at, just north of where your house is at, Joliet there. That might still be Joliet. No, I don't think it is. I think that's something else. But where that big steel bridge is at, where they just did all the construction, just next to the steel bridge. Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did it. That's got the weird exit to come in and out of, doesn't it? Where you kind of got to come in this way and come back, and then you got the guys that are coming out that always want to run that stop sign right there. Yeah, that's a mess right there. I did a little bit of container work. That's another video all in of itself right there for who was it that I did? XPO just south of there, you know, their yards just south of there. Yeah, yeah. No, that was horrifically bad job. I don't know why they have phones. They never answer them. They oh, containers. Oh my gosh. I could go on and on about it. I haven't done a lot of it, but I did enough of it to know I don't like it. And everybody hates container drivers, it feels like. I don't know why. They seem nobody likes them. And they got a pretty rough job for the most part. Getting in and out of them yards and knowing where you're supposed to be at and learning the system of each place and where the empties go and where the full ones are at and all of that stuff. Holy smokes. That was probably a good job though. Probably made pretty good money, I bet, if you were doing that. I would agree with what you said there. It would be in the running for the hardest. That's for sure. Yeah, it would definitely be in the running. And the rates aren't very good usually. But there's a lot of it. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of it. Yeah. Hopper. That's what you want to do though. You want to do hopper. If you get back in it, that's what you want to do. I ran that at South Bend to your place there, G4, Global 4 is and back around through Grant Park I'd get there's an elevator there in Grant Park. That's where I'd get corn that came back to the South Bend ethanol plant. So I would unload grain at South Bend ethanol, reload distiller grain at South Bend ethanol. So there's no deadhead on that end, and usually not too bad a line. Usually, um, the only line was on the other side uh, at Global. If I went to the other place up there off of 9080, um, it wasn't too bad usually getting in and out of there. But now they have to bring their containers. What is the name of that place? I can't remember. Um, they are very nice there as well. Uh, but that whole loop from South Bend to Joliet through Grant Park by my house, I'm right off of 30, off of Highway 30, and Valparaiso, I'm east of Valparaiso, west of Plymouth. Um, was 225 miles, give or take a smidge. So 200, it was 225, and that load paid the grain coming back paid 30 cents a bushel, so that was 300. And usually the what was that? 25 a ton? Is that what that paid going over there? Divided by 25, 20 a ton. Yeah, they paid 20 a ton to take the distiller grain, and I could haul 25 ton. So it was 500 bucks to go over and 300 bucks to come back with the corn. So 800 for the day. So 800 divided by 225 on, and that's probably the high side, about 355 a mile. The problem was, is I really only got a couple, I couldn't do more than one loop, really. I may have been able to get like a couple, not a whole loop, but a couple extra distillers if I would have started on your side in the morning and then come back and did the corn and got another distiller grain, been preloaded overnight, but that's not the way I did it. I went the other way and then would get hung up with a long line. But it come out, those distillers come out easier if you don't leave them set in your trailer all night. But I had the vibrators, so that helped a lot. And G4 had these big air gun things that you put down in the distiller and boom, blows air in that trailer real fast, like you're blowing up a tire and seating the bead. And so that would get it going good. But South Bend distillers come out pretty good. A lot of times I didn't have to do much of anything, but if I got it out of Marion, that come out pretty hard. I don't know if it was not as dry or more dry. And then once in a while I would run a load over into Michigan and I would bring a load back. It didn't come out real good anyway, but oh my gosh, 43 minutes we've been gabbing. I'm glad you came on here though. We had somebody to chat with. Uh, I'll leave this up and of course I leave all of them up, but I'm at 481 on the subs. And what was I at on watch time? I think I'm actually could get to my um did you hear that, cat? 481 on the subs and 3,092 on watch hours. I hope to get monetized this before my birthday. My birthday's in June. I hope to be monetized by then. I go back doing this over the road stuff. I tend to get more views if I go over the road than I do doing my grain, but I'd rather do grain. But anyway, we're at 44, so God bless to you, my friend. And it's nice chatting with you. It's like our own little live stream here, you and me. My mom didn't even come in. She may be watching the football game. She's a Tennessee fan, so she might be watching that. They've struggled this year. They needed what did they need to get first round pick? They needed the Patriots to win. If the Patriots won, Tennessee got the first round pick of the draft. If not, they got the second round. I just seen that on the news today too. I didn't know that before today. But anywho, yeah, so like I said, we're at 44, so we might as well wrap this up. Maybe somebody else goes live. Do you know if anybody else is live? I thought maybe Trucker Todd would go live. He used to do live streams on, didn't he do? Maybe his was Thursday. Slime Pack 392 was that girl that I watch. Ooh, right there. She's got pretty good videos. Anybody else live? Ryan Hall, y'all still talking about weather. Oh, Elite's live. We go see what he's up to. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. He's got 79 folks watching him. Yeah, bounce over and see what he's up to. He's probably giving somebody the business. But alrighty, my friends. I'm gonna bounce over and see what Elite's got going on for a few minutes, but then I'm gonna go to bed here by 6:30 at the latest. I'll be snoozing or trying to snooze. They you can't quite see it, but there's a cat right there, there, laying behind this monitor. Um, and I should let Puppy in. She's probably ready to come in. I ain't heard her scratch at the door though. But alrighty, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching and commenting and all that good stuff. So we will talk again soon. God bless everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.